What's more, kid, it seems to be Tia Kemp isn't getting off Rick Rossnack at any point in the near future, since she just put him on impact after he took steps to pull up on Drake. And hop him this came after Rick effectively embedded himself into Drake and Kendrick's quarrel, despite the fact that it has literally nothing to do with him. He has now accepted the fight as his very own fight, and he has been tenaciously coming at Drake for more than 7 days at this point. Many individuals at first thought Rick was simply attempting to make this entire thing just to make it somewhat more tomfoolery, yet is currently getting fixated. And it's really starting to appear as though he has his very own grudge against Drake, yet Tia doesn't want to allow Rick to triumph when it's all said and done in this. Since she has been on him since he embedded himself into this rack, and she is presently spilling some significant tea about him. Now, as I said before, this isn't Tia's most memorable opportunity approaching for Rick. She has been coming for him since they got isolated, yet it deteriorated when he quit dealing with her and their child William, and began to parade the ladies he was attaching with right in front of her to make her envious. This heightened further a couple of months prior, when Rick was still with his then sweetheart Christina McKay. Christina continued to slight Tia each and every other day, and at one point in any event, blaming Tia for making counterfeit records to follow her. Tia is as yet pungent about Rick permitting his side part of insolence like this via virtual entertainment, and she is currently favoring Drake in this wreck to get back at Rick. She initially spread the word about it that she was Group Drake a couple of days prior when she went live on IG Live and uncovered Rick for having a furious fixation on Drake. As per Tia, Rick used to be squeezed and incredibly envious of Drake back. When she was still with him, she guarantees Rick would tirade to her the entire night about how Drake doesn't merit the honors he gets, and that he is some sort of industry plant. What's far more atrocious is that after Rick does this garbage talking, he will be posted up in pictures, with Drake behaving like he enjoys them entire time. He is only searching for a valuable chance to obliterate Drake. Why your driver stand in your mom house that you experienced childhood in and moving notes. And I heard is a try-house that or a tycoon kid. He no Billy overstated all that you all better quit accepting the ground and Drake. I believe that you should call me, 'cause I got something to tell you by. And by he discuss your family. Back any discussion about like young lady, he got a child from a Russian lady. Closely resemble Drake wonderful young man. Same age one of that young lady, got them 3 youngsters from child them che the very at. That why she be concealing in the opening someplace occasionally. 'Cause she realized he got a child. That child Ross let you know break Drake business. Supposedly, 'cause he couldn't talk with me each all during that time when he needs sandwiches. And awaken his example off now. When Tia said this, many individuals were truly stunned that this was the thing Rick was doing the entire time, when we as a whole suspected he was cool with Drake. Individuals truly began doing a few digging and understood that there is a reality to what Tia is talking about on the grounds that Rick truly has a background marked by coming at Drake unjustifiable, despite the fact that Drake has done nothing to him. Rick initially tossed shots at Drake unwarranted in 2015 when he embedded himself into Drake and Quiet Factories. Rick said at the time that he felt like he needed to pick a side since he was nearer to tame. So he chose to go after Drake on his Variety Cash, on which he rapped Variety Cash, got your B out on a world visit. My little homeboy made 1 million on his young lady visit. We one after the other, and down to whack a man unborn Miami men. Got him changing all the firearm regulations. So run woods get a few shooters, and they passing on too. I got more cash than that path that you endorsed to Drake. Applauded back at Rick a couple of months after that on his Tune Weston Street streams, on which he rapped Better Believe It. I brought your wifey out to Smartin. She disregarded. I sent her back, where everything began. That they rushed to disregard their single guy loft, pass on it to folks like you to show them light in the haziness. They proceeded to toss a couple more shots at one another. After this, yet in September of 2016, there were a few bits of hearsay that both of them had gotten together in private. To crush the thump, this was uncovered by rapper Nori, who said, "I heard Drake and Ross met in Prime 112 to crush the hamburger between Submissive Plant and Drake Tune. In the event that that talk is right, that is what we want to happen, easygoing Plant, Drake Ross FV." This was additionally later affirmed by Rick himself the next year when he said that he and Drake truly crushed their hamburger because of a confidential discussion set up by Jay Sovereign. They proceeded to deliver their two consecutive coordinated efforts in 2019 Cash in the Grave and Gold Roses. Starting there on, it truly appeared as though everything was cool among them, and that they were presently back to being companions and having shared regard for one another. That was until half a month prior, when Rick Ross chose to be petty again by unfollowing Drake on IG on the side of Kendrick Lamar dissing Drake was not having it, and he chose to go off on every one of them for hanging up to bring him down. "I'm going to let you in on how I'm feeling. Listen, the manner in which I'm feeling is the same way I believe that you should leave here feeling. And about yourself, 'cause you know how I'm feeling. I got my head as high as possible, my back straight. I'm 10 toes down in Florida or elsewhere I go, and I realize that regardless of what not on this planet can ever me in my life. And that is the way I maintain that you should leave here." Applause. This evening, yet to get yourself all gassed up, exasperated up, and move towards the future. Some of the time, in some cases, you got to recognize the slip-ups that you made in the past, right. Yet this wasn't all. He additionally flew out Christina Mackey on all-costs paid excursion to his show, and even gave her an exceptional celebrity region to cover for a show. This made Rick considerably more distraught, and he applauded back by posting a video of him flowing out Kendrick's Circle music. Yet Rick didn't finish there. He continued experience a few times after that to proceed with Drake. And in the event you all failed to remember, this entire meet had literally nothing to do with him. He embedded himself into it. Rick even went similarly, as delivering a diss track against Drake named Champagne Minutes, where he blamed Drake for being a white kid cosplaying as an individual of color. As though that wasn't sufficient, he energized the charges about Drake getting a BBL by guaranteeing Drake had restorative medical procedure to change his nose. He rapped, "You ain't never need to be N-word. In any case, that is the reason you had an activity to make your nose more modest than your dad knows. I unfollowed man, 'cause you sent the MFC. And halt to French Montana man, you sent the cop loathing on my canine venture." He proceeds with, "That wasn't the very white kid that I seen, man, when we were making them early records, man. When you were glad to be around, in words, seeing folks holding them sticks. Definitely you owe mother effing shocking your life, man. I'm the greater individual. I'm a supervisor, Drake. I'm going to offer you a chance to apologize. Above all else, you got to concede. Admit you got your nose decrease, and admit you got a BBL. And I comprehend, I understand what it resembles having those folds on your stomach. And that sweat being under there, you ain't have any desire to do that you needed. To only a you, drizzy you BBL, you could go make it happen. And you did it, admit. I know you're not going to respond. And this speed is exhausting me. It's moving too sluggish. When I came in the game, you needed to move quick. Drop of freeform Fridays. Now web-based entertainment. I can't do it. You got your cronies. What's the other white kid name? P1090, he seemed to be a wet little whale fluttering. Shut up, get your business, man. Apologize, white kid BBL Drizzy. I got an inquiry. I saw you posted you got more cash than Ricky Rose. And we should expect you did, where your closest companion, Birdman, his home, went in an abandonment quite a while back. You done watch that man battle them 5 years. And to get that